this is Patty Clover, and you're listening to Ambiance podcast.
What's up, Patty? Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, you guys. Thank you for having me, Levi.
Yeah, of course. For the listeners out there and the viewers, me and Patty met each other about, 6 years ago? 2012, 2013?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Astro AVL.
At where?
Glendale. Astro AVL in Glendale.
Okay, yeah, Astro AVL. What was that place, just for people that don't know?
It's a DJ shop where you can rent out equipment for parties. You can rent out lights, DJ equipment, and fog machines. And it's also, it still is a DJ school. And there used to be battles back in the day there. DJ battles.
Is it still open?
Astro? Yeah, it's still open.
Yeah, when I went there because of my boy Elect. Shout out Eddie. Shout out to Elect. He brought me through because I think he was renting something or whatever. Then you were there and he was just like, "Yo, this girl's fucking ill. Like
No.
she's so good. She's like better than me at scratching and stuff." And then you were like, you were so badass, and you did some routines there. I guess he said that you go there a lot and everything. And then I got into DJing a little bit more recently in the past years, but you're the first person that taught me how to actually scratch and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, you taught me.
Didn't teach you how to scratch?
No, he didn't. He tried to teach me mixes and stuff, but it wasn't his fault. It was my fault, honestly.
Oh.
He tried, but I wasn't I was like, nah. But
You're persistent. You're like that.
Yeah, but I saw you. I was like, yo, if she could do it, I have to try it.
Oh, thank you, Levi.
Yeah, you taught me some routines and stuff.
Yeah, with the baby scratch and the crab, probably.
Yeah, the crab, and then you taught me this thing. I don't know, with my fingers. It was cool though.
The stab.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really cool to see you progressing so much right now. Since then, I've been seeing you making a lot of moves, and it seems like you've been continuing to get better. Are you born and raised in Los Angeles?
Yes, in Glendale.
In Glendale,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Because I'm interested in finding out just kind of what it was that made you who you are today, as far as just the turntablist that you are, because you're one of the illest turntablists, definitely for girls, but even in general.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So what was it that how was growing up as a child? Let's start there.
I'm a creative person, so growing up I was an artist on the paper, and I played the piano when I was very young. I had a keyboard. It was originally for my brother, but I took over, and then later on, as in my teen years, I listened to alternative like Linkin Park, but I got inspired to DJ by the house DJs such as Tiesto, Paul Van Dyke, Paul Oakenfold, and from there it took a few years for me to actually learn how to really do it, because learning on my own, it was pretty hard how to mix. So I was thinking I need someone to show me how to do it the proper way.
How old were you when you first started?
When I first got my turntables, I was 17.
You were 17 years old?
Yeah,
okay.
And the turntables weren't that great. They were really light, and every time I try to mix, the vinyl will skip because it was so light.
Where did you get it from?
I got it from a photographer. He was selling his 2 turntables, 2 speakers, and a pair of lights for $350,
wow,
I think.
That's a good price.
Yeah,
but I mean, you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah. Those turntables weren't good. They were toys.
Yeah, but I feel like you have to everyone has a story like that. They start with the junk, and it makes it so hard at first, that not that it's easier later, but it's it gets a little bit more simplistic, right? As you go along.
as you find out other ways, it gets so much better, but it's so frustrating. If you keep doing it the bad way, you're gonna eventually want to stop for some time.
That's true. So was it did you feel like it limited your skills?
I felt like, how could the others mix so well, and I keep trying with these vinyls and they're not mixing well. I stopped a lot of times, and eventually I met a friend actually I've known him since middle school, and I met back with him in college, and he told me about Astro AVL. So I was like, I'll learn from there if he's learning from there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I ever since then, I didn't know about turntablism back before that. I was just into house music mixing, and my instructor, Davey Rocket, he was like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to scratch. I'm going to teach you how to beat juggle and mix. And I was like, what is that? What is scratching? And he showed me, and that's when it clicked. In Lincoln Park, Mr. Hahn, he was scratching throughout the tracks. And I never catched that sound. I just thought it was just part
like
of
a sound.
Yeah, it was just a sound. So
yeah, they were so revolutionary, Linkin Park.
Yeah,
like honestly, then and even now, nobody's like made it sound like they have.
No, yeah, not even close. I mean, there's 21 Pilots, but it's not the same. You got a different element, but I mean, you kind of got the voice there, but not really. It's I don't know. I love alternative music. So
yeah, definitely, I love it too. And it was just dope how they even collabed with, like Jay-Z. Like who does that, you know?
Yeah, what alternative group collaborates with hip hop groups? That's what I really loved.
Would you say they're one of your favorite, like?
Oh, they're my favorite.
How'd you feel when like Chester passed away? R.I.P. Chester.
Oh, I was devastated.
I bet.
Yeah, I was telling my cousin, like, I never been to a concert before, but if I ever do go to a concert, I was saying I would go to a Linkin Park concert. And she was like, you gotta go to this one. I'm like, no, they'll still be playing for some time. And then when I got the news, I was like, damn, no, I'll never be able to see them live.
Yeah, you missed your chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was sad too when I heard it. But yeah, going back to the DJing. So you said you bought that turntable when you were about 17 years old, and what like happened then? What conspired then?
2 years later, that's when I met my friend from middle school. Back in college, I was 19, and that's when I went on. And it's funny because I just took classes. It was just 2 weeks that I've been taking classes at Astro, and that same friend was telling me, hey, why don't you join their battles? There's one coming up. It's the last one. And I'm like, I just started learning how to scratch.
Yeah, it's got to be like nerve-wracking a little bit.
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking, but at the same time, it wasn't that nerve-wracking because I knew I didn't know what I was doing. So I got up there. The lights are up in my face. It's hot because those lights were really hot.
Oh, yeah.
And people are staring. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just do what I know what I can do, which is just mixing. And that whole 5 minutes is just house music. And the judges loved it, I guess. And they were like, you're going on to the next round. So
oh, shit. Sounds like American Idol or something.
Yeah, it was.
Rhythm and flow vibes.
Yeah, it was that pressure. I was like, you know what? I can't look bad on the next one. I really got to work it.
Yeah, so. That's dope that you took that like jump though, because you weren't scared just because you were just a beginner. Oh,
I was scared.
You were scared.
Yeah.
So what made you even push through that? Because a lot of people I feel like would be scared and just be like, I'm not ready yet. I don't have enough time.
It's because I respected my friend, and if he said that it would be good, that he's doing it, why can't I? I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it too, because he is a good friend. Okay. So that's what made me jump into it.
So at what point was it that you figured out that like, hey, I actually am good at this and I can pursue this like further?
You know, still to this day, I still don't think I'm that good, but
Yo, everybody listening and watching out there, search up Patty Clover on Instagram. Look at her routines. Like you're so humble.
I thank you.
Why are you so humble? You gotta.
I don't know. I'm just such a nice person, I guess. Sometimes though, not all the time.
Not all the time.
But
yeah, but like, I mean, at what point were you just like, did you get like your first boost of confidence? Would you say in your DJ career, turntables career?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, I think the first, the feeling that I got that really made me think like maybe I should keep doing this was probably the same, the finals that Elect was in, the first Astro finals that I was in.
What year was this?
That was 2013 at Universal City Walk at Saddle Ranch.
Yeah, I remember that. I saw his videos and everything. Yeah.
Were you there?
I wasn't able to make it there. For whatever reason. It was a long time ago, but I do remember that battle. And I didn't know you guys were in it. You guys were battling against each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. There's a lot of drunk people there. So
I bet. Yeah.
It enhanced the sound.
I bet. It was like, oh, this is badass.
But what made me feel to keep that it made me feel good to be up there. Was the first song I put down was from the Fugees.
Okay.
That's Fugees, right? Yeah, that's
Fugees.
Fugees. Killing Me Softly.
Oh, okay.
I played that song and everybody, no lie, everybody started singing that song. From
That's
the
gotta feel
beginning.
good, right?
That felt so good. I felt like Tiesto at that point.
Do you? What's your what? Like, sorry to cut you off, but like, what
That's
is
okay.
your favorite feeling you get from DJing? Like, what is it that you love the most about it?
Feeling the vibe from the other people.
Feeling
Like,
the vibe.
Yeah, once I catch their vibe and I see that they're enjoying it, I love it.
It's an interesting dynamic, isn't it? Like that you can know whether the crowd is feeling your music or not, and like
Yeah.
it's just like a feeling you can't even like.
You can't train someone like that. You just go with it.
Yeah.
It's like a third eye.
It's the pineal gland right
Yeah.
here. It's just like
The triangle.
yeah. No, I definitely understand, because like I was telling you a little bit off air, I got into DJing in college, and I've done like a lot of different things in life, but like having the crowd like actually fuck with you and your music that you're playing is just like when you're able to control the crowd, it's
Yeah.
just like
It's like you're on cloud 9.
yeah. And there's nothing like, I've yet to experience something else that's like kind of similar to that, you know?
Yeah, that is true. I can't think of, I mean, unless you're a guitarist or if you're a singer and everybody starts singing with you, like Coldplay concerts. I've never been to one, but I've seen it. But it must, I don't know anything else in any career that can make you feel that way.
Yeah, besides
So,
like music, right? Because I
yeah.
mean, obviously like rappers and stuff can like have crowd control,
Mhm.
not deciding on their like stage presence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. When you do these DJ battles,
Mhm.
what are they judging you off of? Are they judging you off like blends or like scratching or like
Yeah,
song
all
selection?
All those, and including the crowd response. Some battles they don't count the crowd, but at Astro they were counting the crowd. So
Like the crowd cheering or what?
yeah, cheering, and if they were feeling like, I really don't know, because like on the papers that they gave us, they said crowd, scratching, beat juggling, and mixing. But
Okay.
I don't know how they read the crowd in their perspective to see if the DJ was really good. I guess cheering.
That's interesting. I think I want to do that. I want to start having like DJ battles, but they're gonna be different than like everyone else's. I'm gonna come up with something. So
Is it a secret right now?
secret right now.
okay.
Yeah, you guys are gonna stay tuned. Basically, stay tuned. We're gonna release that later.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you on it too.
Oh, I thank
for
you.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
a judge, or I'm gonna be a competitor.
I don't know yet.
Probably I should win it first, and then I'll be a judge.
Yeah. The winners get to judge. We'll do something like that.
I'll be qualified to be a judge.
You would be. How many like competitions have you done
Oh man,
in your career?
I would say more than 10.
More than 10.
Yeah. The most recent one was Surf Girl Pro, and that was where was it? It was past Huntington Beach, but I won that one. I got
did?
first place on that
shit.
one, so I won $1,000.
What? A
Yeah.
cold K, $1 grand?
Yeah.
That must have felt good.
Oh man, that felt so great. I left and I was like, damn, that was worth it.
Hell yeah. That's cool as hell. Since then, like, so going back to when you first had that like DJ battle, you made it to the next round. How have you progressed from then to now?
What do you mean? Like, wait, from the first battle of
Like,
the very first?
Yeah.
Oh man, I progressed with music knowledge, with the scratches, how to scratch different scratches. Beat juggling, I still have the how do you say, like the basics. So I haven't really progressed with that. But also just getting to know people from all over. It's really changed my life.
Really? What do
Yeah.
you mean by that? Like getting to know people, like just in the industry of
Yeah, in
DJing?
the industry, and also who are not in the industry. Sometimes I meet people who aren't even DJs. They're like music artists, or they have recording studios. I meet people, and then from those people I meet other people, and then I get to experience new things.
Yeah,
like
that's
the radio the other day, and the other thing is other events. I'm with the B-side show. That's in Covina. They interview a lot of hip hop artists, whether they're rappers or singers, beat makers, and from then from them, I got to meet other people, and they host events nearby. So it's kind of like that.
Okay, cool.
I get.
That's really cool. Just it seems like it opens up a lot of opportunities for you.
Yeah.
And like, for me to kind of relate to that, like playing sports and playing football, like you meet so many people from football or like any sport you play, and it just like branches out, and you meet another person, and the next thing you know like everybody who's playing like that sport, like in your area.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, so I feel like it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
To what you're doing.
They have respect. They're not like, oh, you need to work a 9 to 5. It's like, no, you do what you love. It's like, I love that.
That's cool as hell. Yeah. How is that like industry? Is it really competitive, or is everybody more so like want each other to win, or is it cutthroat?
In person, everybody wants each other to win. They're very humble. It's only online that they could be competitive.
Oh.
So
when they're behind the keyboard.
Yeah, huh?
When they're behind the keyboard.
When they're behind the decks.
Oh, behind the decks.
Yeah. No, the keyboard. No, I'm not competitive in piano.
No, I meant like the keyboard, like the computer.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? They get all confident.
Well, not so much, but like what I've seen from other DJs with me, not so much. They just that type of that case is just like guys being nasty. That's what I get. But other than that, no, I don't really get hate like that unless I didn't pay attention to it. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to the haters.
Yeah, there you go. You can't pay attention to the haters.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the haters. You're a waste of time.
Yeah. What inspired you besides like Linkin Park? What DJs were you looking up to when you were first starting out?
In the battle scene, I looked up to Rock Raider from the Executioners. I loved his style, his body tricks. When I was battling, I wanted to put out more of a show for the audience. So, he was the only one that really he used his body to present himself. So I was like, I need to do that. I need to do some stretches.
Some stretches.
Yeah, some stretches for the back when I do the juggles.
Oh yeah.
And going underneath the leg and doing those jumps. You guys will see that on my YouTube video.
You don't want to pull nothing, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to. Sometimes I have though, and
what?
My what do you call it? The back string in your leg.
Hamstring.
Is it the hamstring?
I think so.
It's the back. This area.
I think that's like the lower hamstring.
Yeah.
Or for the viewers, it's right here. Like we don't know what it's called.
But yeah, it hurts. And sometimes I would have to take a few weeks off from doing body tricks.
Really?
Yeah, it sucked.
Wow, I never thought that would be a problem.
Yeah, and the back too. When I did with the fader with the back, I don't know how other DJs do it. I don't know how Rock Raider did it, but when I did it, it started to hurt my spine with the, it just was it wasn't even sore. It was just starting to mess up. And I was like, no, I need to find another way of how to do the back fader. Yeah. I did the nose.
Oh, the nose?
That was fine, yeah.
I think I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
I've seen your videos of you do the nose. I'm like, that's fucking dope.
Some DJs are like, oh, I'm like, don't worry, I'll clean it right after.
They don't want the oils or what?
Yeah, they don't want my oil or boogers coming out.
Oh, shit. Boogers on the.
But no, I never had boogers coming out. But you never know,
Have you ever what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you when you DJ'd?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess it was so embarrassing I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
I gotta think about
maybe
this
when you
one.
just pulled something.
There was one point my hair, I guess I had it in a bun, and it got loose and it swung. It swung into the needle, and the needle jumped, and everybody thought that was part of the show, and it wasn't.
Were they cheering?
Yeah, they were like, that was so cool, and that wasn't meant to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen.
You just gotta roll with it.
Yeah. I think that was 2 years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
There was a time when I was DJing back in Colorado, and I was a house party or something. There's a bunch of people, and I was a little bit drunk, and I had a coat on, and like
Uh-oh.
I was like dancing, and my coat kept hitting the fader, and like you know what I mean, like cutting to like the other deck, and it kept happening.
Oh.
And I was getting like booed and shit because it
Really?
kept happening. Yeah, my fader, and I just took the jacket off. I was like, this is enough.
Oh
like,
no.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because of that. It's okay. Like, it's my fault for like.
No, but still, people are booing. Just like, damn.
It's cutthroat, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, people care about their music, I guess.
That was Colorado, though, right?
That was Colorado, yeah.
Man, that's scary.
Yeah. No, they're nice people out there. Yeah, you don't usually have to worry about that. How often do you? Because obviously, to get to how good you are now, it has to take a lot of practice, right?
Oh yeah.
So, how often do you think you practice?
Well, now not so much, but back in the day, during the years 2012 to 2015, I would go to Astro, and I would try to get there at 10 a.m. in the morning and leave when they close at 7 p.m.
Wow.
So most times I would end up talking to my friends that work there. So, but most of the time, I would probably practice 6 hours straight from those years.
Damn.
And when I do practice, I focus on certain scratches that day. So if I had to practice the crab, I would keep practicing that for the straight 6 hours. And it would be easy on me because I most of the time had the room to myself. So they had the lights for me, they had the equipment for me, and it was more like meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah, it felt like I was meditating because when you do scratch, it's like martial arts. You keep doing the same thing over and over again. And so you just get into the zone with
until
the
you
music.
get it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Yeah.
So you go there during that time frame. Like how many days a week would you go?
Like 6 days.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 days a week.
That's super
back
dope.
in the day.
That's cool as hell. Like to be that like. Would you say that you were obsessed with it back then?
I was obsessed. I got obsessed with it. I told myself I'm gonna try to practice as much as I can. If I wanna be better at these battles, I have to go into practice. So back then I didn't have a car, so I took the bus, and I would take all this vinyl with me. And sometimes I got so much like vinyl. Vinyl's heavy, you know? So it wouldn't fit in my backpack. So I was carrying my bag and my backpack. And sometimes I would regret it taking it on the bus because, you know.
Why?
Because I have to take it all off the bus. I can't take turns, like, you know. So it would be that situation where I get there in the morning, and then later in the afternoon I would make sure I don't miss the bus, because the bus I took, the last time it comes around is around 7, and that's when the shop closes. So sometimes I would miss it.
So if you miss that, you're just like,
I would.
And
be
Uber
stuck.
wasn't popping back then?
No, it wasn't. No. So one time I had to have a friend drop me off because my dad wasn't picking up his phone call. So I'm like, damn it.
Wow, that's crazy. That's like dedication.
Yeah.
Like props to you for that,
Oh,
honestly.
thank you.
That is really cool that
Thank
you
you.
put in that much time and effort.
Well, once you start, you don't stop.
Yeah, obviously. And you found like a passion, and you just like obsessed over it. That's cool.
And it was easy for me too, because the people that used to work there during that time, they were like a family to me. So I always wanted to come and see them all.
It was a good environment for you to be in, right?
Yeah. Everyone there, it was dope. I wish you guys can experience that.
Yeah. Well, they're still open, right? They're in Glendale.
Yeah, they are, but they're different employers now. There's still like a few that still work there, that were working there back in the day, but everyone else left. Yeah.
Okay.
So they all like took different careers, different jobs.
It happens.
Yeah. So
damn. But well, I'm sure you still like keep in touch with them sometimes, right?
Yeah, I try to.
You try to.
But yeah, but it's still hard because some they live really far, and most of the times they bail. I'm
they
like,
flake on you?
Yeah, I'm like, let's go eat Korean barbecue, and you guys don't come through.
She's calling you guys out right now.
Yeah, I'm calling you all of you guys out. Come through.
Not naming any names, but yeah. How did you not burn yourself out when you were putting in those many hours?
I did burn myself out on my fingers, and I still feel it to this day.
Oh yeah, like do you experience like carpal tunnel and stuff like that? Wow.
Yeah, it hurts so much sometimes, especially when it's cold. I start to feel it.
Tense up.
Yeah, and not tense up, just like how do I describe it? It's like I guess tense up. It gets really cold, and it just starts to I don't know how to
Like
describe
knot
it.
up?
It knots. Yeah.
Knots up.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like that's not talked about enough. Like, especially in the DJ world, like you guys are using your hands so much that like, what happens when you're like 50 or 60? You know, like.
Oh man, I hope I don't die because of that.
You're not gonna die.
I wake up one morning, I'm like, I think I'm dying.
You're like, what happened to my hands? They're like, oh.
my fingers are all separating. I see them leaving each other. I'm like, no, don't go.
Nah, you'll be fine. But like, yeah, it's crazy to think just like how I guess it can affect your hands.
Yeah, and I asked other DJs, like, what do you guys do to prevent that? And some DJs, they tell me certain scratches. I talked to Qbert. Do you know DJ Qbert?
I don't. Who's that?
He's very famous in the scratch community, in DJ in general, but more of the scratching world. And he told me a few stretches that every DJ should do before they scratch, like take like 5-10 minutes. It was a while back though, because I talked to him at NAMM, and there are other DJs that told me about stretches. And the most recent one, he told me, because he's in martial arts, he was like, first you have to go like this, and then you have to, like, I don't know if you can see, but you have to go around each finger for like a minute, and
for
then
the listeners,
keep
she's
switching.
just like making circles with the fingers.
It's a stretch.
It's
It's
a
good
stretch.
for your. It's good for your
Yo,
fingers.
take
before
notes. Take
Yeah.
notes. Like, this is useful information.
Yeah,
honestly.
you don't want to miss this out, because you're gonna end up like me. We probably wake up when I'm 60 one day and feel like I'm dying.
Hey.
No joke. It really hurts.
Oh really?
Yeah, it really hurts
Damn.
sometimes.
Well, I'm sure
So-
something needs to happen for like the DJ community to fix that. I don't know. To
I
help
know,
you
they
guys
need it.
out.
They don't talk about it that much.
They don't. Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah, that's
It's your
another.
health.
Yeah, like with freelancing, like DJing or whatever, most like DJs don't have health insurance,
Yeah,
right? So it's
yeah.
just like you guys experience like the same type of like illnesses that other people
Mhm.
get. So it's like it sucks that there's no like plan out there for most DJs, you know?
Yeah, no 401k unless you're with a really good company. But
Yeah.
even still, I don't even know if they have that. But
Yeah, unless you're like signed to some label or something, I guess.
Yeah, like, what if a piece of equipment falls on you? What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I'm sure that's
So-
happened before.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
I'm sure somewhere it's happened.
Yeah.
But damn, yeah,
But-
there's got to be something for DJs
Yeah.
to come about.
Well, that area I don't know, so just take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself, yeah. So back then you were putting in that amount of time and effort. Back obviously, like, you needed to, like, I don't know if you need to go that hard, but it's cool that you did. But you got to a point where you thought you were like good enough to kind of lighten your load up, right?
No, I always wanted to keep pushing myself. It's just life got in the way, and I'm just like, I need to slow down a little bit because, bills. I need to
Yeah.
do that. But I'm always wanting to be hard on it because my main focus back in the day was Astro AVL battles. I always dreamed of winning the finals. So I got to the finals 3 times. And on the third time, I was so close. I got second place. And I lost because I was thinking, it took me 2 weeks to come up with my second set, because for the finals you have to make 2 sets. And so on the second set, I had so much trouble with that set. I was telling everybody, like, no, on the second set, I'm going to do an all vinyl set, because that's how I started. And it burned me, because once I played, I couldn't get that set down until the very last day, the day before the finals. And even still, I wasn't sure of it. So when I did play at the finals, that second set, I messed up on the juggle, and DJ Az's, he's really cool. He took first because of it. So I was like, damn, maybe I should have stuck with Serato on the second set too.
Damn.
And, yeah. So I felt that was the last battle that they had. And to me that night, my world fell.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it fell because I knew at that point, my whole family, I just knew that they were going to go their own ways. It wasn't going to be the same anymore. I don't know. I had that gut instinct in me that was going to be the last time everyone was going to be in the room. So
and it was the last time.
Yeah,
Dang.
it was. So it was like, this
well,
sucks.
it seems like it meant a lot to you, right?
Yeah, like it meant more than DMC. It meant more than Red Bull.
Wow.
So yeah, but I still want to win Red Bull and DMC at some point in my life.
When are those?
DMC, that would start in March, and Red Bull, they usually start in the summer.
And you've done those before?
Yeah, I've done those. Yeah.
Okay.
So Red Bull, I think their finals this year is sometime in December. So it's coming up.
Didn't the DJ from like Oakland win that? DJ Espinosa or something? Or
yes.
He won that. He won that, right?
Yeah.
Is that like the mecca of like DJ battling? Or
for right now that I know of, yes. DMC used to be like, don't get me wrong, okay, you guys, I know there's some OGs that will probably see this and be like, no, DMC is still the OG, but right now the culture is really cultivated for Red Bull 3 style, because you want to have all those genres come in at once, and it's the club life, so people want to party. But yeah, the Red Bull in my eyes is hot right now.
It's hot right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how do you think you're prepared for the next one that's coming up?
I have plenty of time, so if I do hustle on it like how I did hustle back in the day for Astro, then yeah. With Red Bull though, it's not only scratching. It's not even important. If you don't know how to scratch, you're still okay. As long as you can be very creative with the songs that you mix in with different, because they require 3 genres in their battle. So if you know how to be like Jeremiah Red, who's on 106.7 KROQ, then you're gonna be good. Or I should say the ones that are on it. What's his name? He's a DJ in Arizona. Oh my god, I have him on my Instagram. I forgot what his name is. But he's really good.
he knows who he is.
Yeah, I know who he is. You'll see him on my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see one of my followers. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you ever want to do anything else but DJing when you were like younger?
I want to music produce. I recently put my brother, he's a computer technician, so I bought all of the parts for my computer to make sure I can do really cool video editing. Okay. And music produce. So
that's something you want to get into?
Yeah, that's from the very beginning. When I started DJing, I wanted to make music like Tiesto and BT, Brian Russo, and I just want to make the people feel and go into another world, make them feel good and go into another world.
That's deep.
Music.
Take them to another world.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm like ATC ATV.
Shots out.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I feel like that's like important though. That's a big step. That if you make like a really good track and people feel it, that can literally take you to like. All it takes is one track. It could take you to the next level.
One hit wonder?
No, not a one hit wonder. Because, you see DJs that, like, I'm not, like, knocking on any, like, good, famous DJs out there, but, like, the reason why they're, like, getting the gigs that they are getting is because they produced a track that got big, and people book these DJs because they're going to play that track, and people, like, love that track, right?
Yeah. Like Skrillex. Skrillex, he was in a rock band before, but...
Oh, he was?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the name of the rock band, but I think it's a rock band. I hope it's a rock band. But, yeah, he was in a band before, and then he got into DJing, and he's made hits. Yeah, hits because hits. He knows how to play instruments, and a lot of DJs that come by, they're like, man, I don't know how to play an instrument. That's going to be really hard for me. So... if you know how to play an instrument, then it'll be really good for you.
Yeah, that's dope. I had his photographer on the podcast, Coughs. She's really fucking cool. She came on the podcast, and she had some really cool things to say about Skrillex.
She didn't mention he was in rock band?
No, she didn't.
Uh-oh.
We talked more about her than
okay.
Skrillex. They just kind of talked about Skrillex on and off air. But yeah, it was more about her, but still it's he's a really fucking cool guy is what she says.
Yeah.
So
He throws really cool music, like the Cinema song. I love that song.
Have you started at all trying to produce? Or?
I have. Before I started DJing, I was in music production and playing piano. I wrote some songs, but I never put them into the software because I didn't have the equipment, but now I do have the equipment. So I was trying Ableton, the free trial run. So I'm going to get it soon.
You're going to get it soon?
Yeah.
So you're going to go with that and not FL Studios or anything else?
Yeah, because a lot of people I meet that I'm around, they're with Ableton. So I would prefer to be around, do that software that people are, that they know how to work it, that I know.
And they could help you out too, of course, and everything. Do you think, I feel like if you put that same work ethic, like obviously there's like life happens, you have more responsibilities, but like I feel like if you put that same work ethic that you had in DJing in like the early years into like producing, like you're gonna be fucking good.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna be a hermit.
Nobody's gonna see you for like a year.
I'm gonna be like a vampire when I come outside the house. The sun is gonna blind my eyes.
You're like, I haven't seen the sun in like 3 days. Because different from like DJing, like you're just in your room producing, like you're not really with other people.
No, but even still with DJing, you're in this, like when it kind of bothered me too. When I was at Astro, I would spend summers inside a dark room practicing.
It's true.
And I would be like, man, my friends are going to Cancun, they're going all these tropic places, and I'm in here practicing.
Yeah, well, I feel like you were kind of confined to that. Like you didn't really have a choice, back then. But now, like you can, like you have your own equipment, you could set it up wherever you want. Yeah. Like I feel like your creative space is super important for you, right?
Yeah, it was worth it because Pioneer, they actually gave me a mixer.
Wow. How'd that come about?
One of the guys, they seen me battling throughout the years, so they were asking me to come for NAMM to display, to do a show for them for like an hour or something, or probably less than an hour. I don't remember. It was like 3 years ago. But I needed their mixer. I didn't have their mixer. So to showcase their mixer, they're like, oh, we're gonna have you borrow our mixer, and it was a golden edition. And so I thought, like, okay, I'm going to have to return it, but it's so beautiful, but okay. So I was doing my set, and by the time NAMM came around, I did my set. I asked one of the guys, like, when should I return the mixer? He's like, oh, we're going to trade you that mixer with another mixer as a gift, as a thank you for doing our show.
That's badass.
And it was, and he was just like, you know what, you can keep that mixer you have. So I kept the golden edition.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so like... Those are expensive, right? How much are those?
Oh, more than probably like $2,000.
Damn,
$2,000. Yeah, I was blessed. I guess all those years being at Astro, just practicing in the dark, was worth it.
Hell yeah, that's gotta feel good.
So
what is it called? It's the gold edition.
It's a Pioneer S9.
S9, so it's the S9.
Yeah, it's the S9. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I talked to Eddie a lot about that, like the mixers he uses, and like. I know we talked a little bit earlier about like how that first turntable you got had like limitations on it, and like even him like being a like dope DJ he is now, it's like he had I think like the S7 and
the S7.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What was it?
You're talking about turntables or a mixer?
The mixer.
The mixer?
Yeah.
They don't have an S7.
What do they have then?
They have a 900.
Like what was before the S9?
It's their main mixer was a 900. Is it 900? What is it? 900. It's a 4-channel mixer.
Yeah.
So 900 something.
Yeah, I thought it was called. I don't know why I thought it was the S7, but no,
it makes sense though. It's like an iPad.
Yeah,
iPod or whatever you call it.
Yeah, no, it was like whatever the mixer was before that. Mm-hmm. And I guess like the S9 had specific features on it that you can't use with like a previous mixer.
Oh, the updates.
Yeah, or like the updates, or like some of the like controls on it. Like the S9 had different than like the mixer he had. I don't remember exactly what mixer he had, but like like it's one of those. I feel like it's one of those industries where like you have to keep up to date with the technology if you want to compete with like these other DJs who have that. Like, because there's only so much you could do, right, with certain mixers and turntables.
Yeah, the S9. It really revolutionized the way other companies started putting out their mixers such as Mixars, Rain. They really, I don't mean to be like mean with Rain, but I mean, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying like Rain's new mixer, the 72, kind of looks like the S9.
Okay.
With the button display, and they have their computer in the middle, but S9 really set the tone for the DJ world on how a mixer should be, because you got your cue points that are big enough. They feel good when you press on them, and they have so many effects, so many ways of manipulating music that DJs love it. And it still is like, it's, what do you call it? It's I'm getting like a brain
like
fart right
ideal,
now.
like the standard.
Yeah, it's the standard. The new standard, the set standard. I can't even talk anymore. My brain is like overloading right now.
No, you're
But
fine.
back in the day, it used to be the 62. Rain 62 was the standard for a while. And then the S9 came out a couple years ago, and it's just like, nope, that's the standard. Red Bull 3 style, they use that.
Oh, they do?
They use the S9. Yeah.
So what are like some key differences between the two that like you're able to do?
With the Rain 62, I don't think you were able to do drumming, and on the
Okay.
S9 you can. They have sampler. The way you navigate with the buttons, it's a lot easier compared to the 62. With the 62, you have these small little buttons, and they're all the same color. I mean, that probably doesn't matter, but with the S9, if you're in a dark room and you're competing, you can memorize the color that you were playing with. Because when you DJ, when you battle, you have to remember very specific things.
Yeah. So if you get a new mixer, you have to practice a lot on it, right? Before you
Oh,
even
yeah.
think about battling.
Yeah, you have to get really used to it to know how to switch off, like from phono, or just to switch off just into the next song. Depending however you use it, you got to really know how to use your mixer.
Right. So
And-
the S9 is definitely your favorite one.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
It
Hey,
used to be the 62, but S9, Pioneer gave me an S9, so
yo,
I love the
Pioneers,
S9.
sponsor my girl Patty. Like, give
Yeah.
her a sponsorship.
Yeah, Dave. No, I'm kidding.
Hey,
Sorry, Dave.
She called him out. Dave, give her a sponsorship. She needs one. She's a dope turntable. She deserves it.
I'll keep working hard. But thank you, Dave.
I mean, you got blessed with this turntable,
Yeah.
so it is what it. Being like a female turntablist,
Mhm.
have you experienced like any barriers to entry in the DJ industry just because it's like mostly like male, right?
Yeah.
Like predominantly male.
Well, it's not changing. The game's changing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of females coming up now, but from the beginning, no, I haven't. Never experienced any, like, online trolls, probably that, but
Yeah, online trolls are just like, I don't know, anything like that. You haven't experienced anything like that?
yeah, I haven't experienced any disrespect.
That's dope.
And, it's funny because it comes from the guys. The guys are like, oh, that's so cool that you're a DJ. There's not that many female DJs. They give me a lot of respect. And when I come into those discussions about, oh, how is it being a female? It must be hard being a female DJ because you get, but no, it's the opposite of that.
It's like you're embraced, right?
Yeah. They give me more opportunities.
Yeah.
I haven't came upon, well, no, I can't say that. No.
What?
Stop myself. I haven't met like a female DJ. No, but I have. They've given me opportunities too, but I've been given a lot more opportunities with the guys. And yeah, I don't have any disrespect.
That's cool
from
as
them,
hell to see.
So
And like the thing that like Beat Junkies is doing with Ladies of Sound is really
Mhm.
cool to see.
Yeah.
Right? How long has that been going on?
I would say like a year and a half. It's very new to me. It might be even 2 years.
2
but
years. Wow.
yeah, they've been really launching off with that, and they've been getting their students who are graduates there to play at different venues across LA. So
And that's revolutionary.
yeah, it's a very nice environment. Their environment was the type of environment that I was at Astro back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have their stations set up very nice, and for each individual, and the instructors, the Beat Junkies, they're awesome to learn off of.
Yeah.
Mr. Chog, Babu, Redmatic, all of them. They're really good teachers.
For those listeners and viewers out there that don't know what it is, Beat Junkies is like it's called the Institute of Sound,
Mhm.
but it's like a school of DJing. So you can take like an 8-week course and
7 months,
7 months.
Yeah,
Oh, shoot.
from what I heard.
7 months. So
Mhm.
you take a 7-month course, and like you start from like, if you're new, right? It's like
Yeah.
beginning stage, intermediate, and more and more and more. It's like,
Yep. You start from the bottom. They have you learn off vinyl first, from what I heard.
Off vinyl first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't go off controller.
That's so cool. There's nothing really like that out there.
No.
So they're like changing the game.
Yeah. I mean, there's other schools like Scratch Academy, and there's still Astro, but it's different instructors. So
Different instructors.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna catch on because right now it's like in LA, but like,
yeah.
what if it spread across the country? Which I feel like is for them is gonna like is a possibility, right?
Yeah, depending on how the crew wants to take it. Because I don't know if the Beat Junkies, if they're all living in LA or if they live in different parts.
Right.
So, I mean, if they wanted to, it could. But I don't know. In my mind, I think they would stay in LA because their families are here. So
True.
They want to stick as a crew. As with Scratch Academy, they do have different offices, like in New York and probably, I think, even Miami. I'm not too sure, but
New York and Miami. That's cool. They're just like breeding, and they have even kids classes. Like, kids can take classes, which is so fucking cool. Like, have you seen it?
Yeah, I seen. There's this one 11-year-old. Her name is Sam, and each time I go to the Beat Junkies, she's always there scratching it up at the Ladies of Sound, and she's getting better and better every day. And she's just 11 years old.
Wow, and she's really good, right?
Yeah, she's focused. She's really good.
It's so cool because like there's like a platform now for kids to get into this. Now I feel like it's gonna breed more DJs. Can you imagine these kids that are doing this at 10 and 11 years old when they get to like your age, our age?
Yeah, I mean, there's one, for example, K-Swiz. He was little when he started, and now like he's still little, and he's already won, I think, DMC.
DMC's name is DJ Swiss.
K-Swiz.
K-Swiz.
Yeah.
Shout out DJ K-Swiz. My bad, I called you Swiss.
No, it's like Swiss cheese. No,
Swiss cheese. DJ Swiss cheese.
I'm kidding.
Nah, yeah. DJ K-Swiss. K-Swiss. Yeah, that's dope. Like, just to see that like kids getting involved in it, and it's only gonna help the whole game of DJing.
Yeah, like a bunch of 8-tracks.
Bunch of little 8-tracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even a female 8-track. Who knows?
Maybe. What advice would you give to somebody who's maybe listening to this or watching it and wants to get into DJing but doesn't know really how to? Or
well, I would say if you're not in LA, there's online to buy equipment, but if you still don't have the money for it, I would say, because I know it could be really tough out there, especially if you live in a third world country, but be around people who love music. Don't shy away from events. Of course, be safe, but just try to get yourself out there, and you'll meet people who will want to help you, because there are a lot of people who like to help. So if you can do that, stick around people who do music. You're eventually going to be around that equipment, and once you're around that equipment, try to put yourself, try to practice as much as you can. The little time you have, try to get in there and just hone it down, because practicing, when I first started, it took a while for me to get used to it. I didn't want to, but I eventually, 10,000 hours, and then you get, so you have to really get into a routine. And just keep practicing, do what you love. Don't let society tell you not to, or family, because family is going to try to take you away from that, because it's not really good money.
They're gonna be like, what are you doing? Like, this is not gonna
it's not gonna help you with your bills, not with anything. So if you love doing something, keep at it, don't give up. So that's what I got.
Good advice. What how much like would you recommend people to start on like turntables rather than a controller? Like, would you highly?
I mean, because I started on it, but also because you have a different style with it. I can switch off from turntables to CDJs to controller, but if you go from controller to vinyl, it's gonna be a lot harder. It's a vinyl turntables. It's like the how you say, it's the basics. You gotta learn off of. It's, you can scratch with it. With CDJs and controllers, you can't really scratch with it. It's a different feel. Yeah,
it's like you could transition well from turntables to controllers, but not vice versa, right?
Like, you can.
How expensive is it to start? Like,
Depends. When I started, I would say I paid like 350
Yeah, for that little kit, right? You mentioned earlier.
for the equipment or the
Like, no,
classes?
you paid for that, like you said the turntable, then like some speakers, like it came together
Oh
for
yeah,
like,
yeah.
remember?
But even still, it was hard. Like I didn't really learn that way until I got to Astro, and the Astro classes were around like 300 something.
For how long?
For I would say for 7 classes, I got a deal.
Oh,
Back
shit.
in the day, I got a really good deal, and my instructor was Davey Rocket. Shout out to Davey Rocket for teaching me the beginning of all this.
Yep.
Thank you. But the thing about Astro though, they said you can practice as long as you want, as long as there's no classes. So not many students came by to practice, and I took advantage of it. So yeah.
Cool. I think yeah, if you're in the LA area, most of the listeners are. Like, B Junkies is a great place to start it. I think their classes are like $400, something like that, around there.
Yeah, I don't know their price range. I don't know.
Yeah, you could search them up, but like.
But it's worth it.
Yeah.
They really treat you like family. I was just there last night. I was the host with Nikki Duran.
Oh, dope.
And they had their graduation. They were trying to finish the graduation. The way the instructors are with their students, they try to make them feel as comfortable as possible, because it is nerve-wracking to have the lights on you and everybody staring at you, but they want you to feel that way because it is going to happen when you're at a club or anywhere DJing.
So you would say, just to people out there, just like practice.
Yeah, and put yourself out there. Be humble. Don't try to one up someone. Be nice, you guys.
Yeah, the industry needs it.
Yeah, it really needs it.
That's cool. We're almost done here. What plans do you have for like the future for yourself, like in the near like goals you have in the near future?
Well, I'm gonna be putting more routines out, bedroom routines, and the music production with my music videos. So I'm gonna try to work on that more with the mixes too. So,
with the mixes,
yeah.
and then of course producing more, like you said, right?
Yeah. So a lot of some radio stations been hitting me up, and they're like, "Oh, send me some mixes." So I'm gonna try to focus more on that too, because I really admire Jeremiah Red right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's amazing. He mixes alternative with hip hop and funk, and
wow, that's cool.
He's on most of the time on 106.7 at night.
Okay.
So on Friday night, Saturday night, you'll probably hear him. You'll catch his sound. It's very different from the rest of the DJs on the radio.
I'll have to peep them. What genre do you mix the most, or like mixing?
Oh man. For battle wise, I mix a lot of hip hop and funk. For general, just at bars, I'm an open format DJ, so I could go from house to Mumbantan, reggaeton.
Reggaeton.
Yeah, somewhere around that. It's kind of like that.
That's dope. I love that.
It's just tropical music. I'm like saying my list of crates on my Serato right now. But yeah, I'm open for
switching it up.
Yeah, I try to switch it up as much as I can. I haven't got to like the 30s music. I try to, but it's hard.
No,
like the old Great Gatsby type.
The old Great Gatsby. That'd be hard to increment that into your set.
But it's nice though.
It is nice though. You could do that shit. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, one day.
One day. Where can people find you on social media and find your like mixes and everything?
You can find me YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Mixcloud, all at Patty Clover. PATTYCLOVER.
Patty Clover. Then so all your social medias and everything else.
Yes.
Okay,
all
cool.
Patty Clover.
Awesome. Is there any last words you have for anybody?
Be nice.
Be nice.
And keep practicing and enjoy it.
Hell yeah. Quote that. All right, Patty, I appreciate you coming on. This was dope. And yeah, everybody peep her stuff, and she's a great DJ, and you'll see for yourself. She's illest turntablist out.
Oh, thank you, Levi.
That's a wrap.
Adios.